Hi, Franklin families. It's time for more Bunnicula. We are doing chapter 4, probably just the first half of it, of A Cat Prepares. I almost didn't make it to my meeting with Chester that night. Toby had a feast in his room. It was Friday night, and on Friday nights, Toby gets to stay up and read as late as he wants to. That sounds great. So, of course, he needs lots of food to keep up his strength. Good food like cheese crackers, chocolate cupcakes, my very favorite, the kind with cream in the middle. Those sound like the Hostess kind. Pretzels and peanut butter sandwiches. The last I cannot abide because my mouth always gets stuck. Chocolate cupcakes with cream in the center, however, are another story. This particular evening, I stationed myself on Toby's stomach. Usually I'm a little more subtle, but having missed out on the bacon at breakfast, I was not about to take any chances on the chocolate cupcakes with cream in the center. Toby knew what I was after, but sometimes he thinks he's funny, and he plays little games with me. Hi, Harold. I'll bet you'd like a peanut butter sandwich, wouldn't you? Here, you have this one that's left over from yesterday, while I eat this boring old chocolate cupcake, which is nice and fresh and has cream in the middle. Okay, Harold? Ha ha, my sides are splitting. What's the matter? Don't you want the peanut butter sandwich? All right, I'll put it away for another night. Oh, here's something you might like. It's a green sour ball from Dad's candy dish that was stuck to my sock. Would you like that? Huh, pal? Oh boy, the kid is really hot tonight. No? Huh? Well, I'll give you one of my cupcakes, but I know how much you hate chocolate. Would a little drooling on your stomach help convince you otherwise? Oh, you do like chocolate. Okay, then, you can have both of them. And this is a reminder that you should not ever give chocolate to your dog. One thing I have to say about Toby, although he's got a rotten sense of humor, he's a nice kid. Naturally, once I'd eaten both cupcakes, which took approximately 4 seconds, I felt obliged to hang around and let Toby know I was grateful. What better way than to share a few of his cheese crackers? Well, Harold, Toby said sometime later, we've had quite a party, but I have to go to sleep now. I can't keep my eyes open, so I'll have to wait until tomorrow to find out what happens in the next chapter. This is a good book, Harold. It's called Treasure Island, and it's by a man named Robert Louis Stevenson. It's kind of hard reading, though. I have to keep looking the big words up in the dictionary, so it's taking me a long time to get through it. I've always had trouble with words myself. Half the time they don't mean what I think they're going to, and then even when I do find out what they mean, I forget the next day anyway. You might say that I'm smart, but just not the scholarly type. Still pretty good for a dog. But it's a really good story, Toby continued. It's all about pirates and this little boy just like me. No dogs? And a parrot, Harold. A parrot? What's a parrot? Is there anything about chocolate cake? That's my idea of a treasure. Well, good night, Harold. If you're going to sleep here, you'll have to get off my stomach because it's a little full right now. Good night, Toby. I curled up at the foot of the bed, but I couldn't sleep, trying to figure out what a parrot was. I thought it might be like a lady pirate, since the word sounded something alike, but then again, I thought it might be an umbrella. Chester would know, I thought, so I went downstairs to ask him. Well, you certainly took your time, Chester snapped as I sauntered casually into the room. I finished my book half an hour ago. Where were you? It so happens I was discussing great works of literature with Toby. Since when is a Twinkies wrapper considered a great work of literature? I decided to ignore that. Unfortunately, several chocolate crumbs fell from my mouth to the floor at precisely that moment. As a matter of fact, I said, trying valiantly to regain my dignity, we were talking about Treasure Island. Ever hear of it? Ever hear of it, he sneered. I read that when I was a kitten. Oh, then tell me, Chester, what is a parrot? That's pretty sneaky of him. Nicely done. Chester looked at me scornfully. A parrot, he said, is a tropical zygodactyl bird, order Pistaciformes. I might not be saying that right. That has a stout, curved, hooked bill, is often crested, brightly variegated, and an excellent mimic. In other words, Harold, a parrot is a little bird with a big mouth. Oh, I said after a moment. I thought maybe it was an umbrella. Did you get so busy discussing parrots with Toby that you forgot that you're going to meet me here? This is important, Harold. I still wasn't sure what a parrot was, but I decided it was not the time to pursue it. Come over here, Chester commanded, indicating his chair, and let me show you this book. I looked at the chair. Chester was already sitting in it with a very large book open in front of him. I don't think there's going to be room for both of us, Chester, I said. Come on, you're wasting time. Just jump up here. I surveyed the scene carefully. I knew I would have to get a running start since there was just a tiny spot left for me, and I would never be able to fit into it if I pulled myself up slowly. Apparently, I was taking too long for Chester's liking. Will you get up here? He hissed. Okay, if that's what you want. I ran and jumped onto the chair, landing with a great kerplop. Chester, where are you? I cried. I couldn't see anything but the back of the chair. I'd forgotten to turn myself around. I'm here, you great oaf! I turned my head. What are you doing on the floor? I asked. You knocked me off the chair. Now just stay put. I'm coming back up. If you can see, this is quite a silly drawing of Harold trying to jump up and landing on Chester in the chair. I moved to the back of the chair, and Chester landed on the front. Now let's see, he said. We both have to see the book. You come over here, and I'll move this way. I don't know if you've ever watched a cat try to decide where to sit, but it involves a lot of circling around and sitting, getting up again, circling some more, thinking about it, lying down, standing up, bathing a paw or a tail, and circling. A dog, on the other hand, sits. This looks like a good spot, a dog will say to himself. He will then lower his body to the spot in question and is usually so secure in his decision that he will fall asleep immediately. Chester took what felt like 20 minutes to settle himself in, and just as I was drifting off, the kicks started. Come on, Harold, quit hogging the seat. And wake up. What are you trying to do? Take a little cat nap? Ha ha ha. I yawned. Now, said Chester, turning to the book, let's get down to brass tacks. What exactly is on your mind? I asked. This book and that rabbit, Chester replied. Now tell me, Harold, have you noticed anything funny about that rabbit? No, I said, but I've certainly noticed a lot of funny things about you recently. Think about it. That rabbit sleeps all day. So do I. So do you. Furthermore, he's got a funny little sharp teeth. So do I. So do you. Furthermore, he gets in and out of his cage by himself. What kind of rabbit can do that? A smart one, I said. I could do it. We're not talking about you, Harold. We're talking about the rabbit. Now, where did they find him? At the movies. Yes, but what movie? Dracula, I said. So, he said quickly. Remember the note around his neck? What language was it in? An obscure dialect of the Carpathian mountain region, I answered smugly. He didn't know everything. And I'm going to stop there, partway through Chester trying to explain to Harold what his theory about Bunnicula is. I have a feeling you probably know what his theory is, considering he's reading Dracula, and they found Bunnicula at a Dracula movie, and they've named him Bunnicula. But you never know. It could be something else. It could be completely surprising. Who knows? We'll find out more tomorrow. Okay,